All right, you guys. So I wanted to address today kind of a comment that just came on my last video dealing with wrestling singlet insecurity and the fact that I did a video on bulges and things like that. And the gist of those videos a lot of times went back to, understanding that everybody that goes into those spaces has some level of insecurity, some level of body issues, and that they're afraid of popping boners, people noticing, and things like that. And a lot of times people feel compelled to comment on that, especially when they are people that have lived through that particular experience and there was not an issue. And there's kind of this assumption that happens a little bit that your experience is universal across the board. And so, the point of those videos was that, try to go ahead and live the dream, have those experiences, because, the odds are that you're probably going to have a good experience actually in those situations. And it was really important for me to make those videos because, for a lot of people getting into wrestling, there are reasons why people don't want to do that, and that should not be one of your hangups. As far as like, okay, I have a bulge in my singlet, sometimes I get boners, those are natural processes that happen. But what kind of really, really irked me about this comment was the extreme lack of empathy that was in it. And that's why it's so worth it to me to make another video that really discusses the underlying tones, and especially where we are as a country, as we are in the planet right now, where people are becoming less and less empathetic to other people's situations. So, being self-conscious about your body, not wanting to appear in spandex, things like that, that's common, it's normal, but you also have to keep in mind that there are learned experiences that you might not have when you're making those comments, saying that, this is a non-issue. There are people who did go through the wrestling experience as a teenager that, were attacked for homophobic reasons. That is something that happens. We wouldn't be having this conversation. We would not have, gay pride parades if the world wasn't fucking homophobic at times, okay? When we talk about Stonewall, that was, police going in, harassing and attacking gay people just for existing. We have, people like, every Republican politician right now who are acting in extreme homophobic ways that would love to see us dead. People do still attack gay clubs. I can even look back to the Florida gay club shooting that happened a couple years ago, right? Pulse, right? The Pulse nightclub shooting. Things happen, guys, in the world that do give us lived experience that says, yeah, we should be concerned in these hyper-masculine environments such as gay wrestling clubs. Or not gay wrestling clubs, but regular wrestling clubs. So why would a gay wrestling club need to exist? Because sometimes we do need a fucking safe space because some people are not fucking safe. And so, if you guys are in New York City where, people have a diverse range of culture, or San Francisco, where there are diverse amount of people, and people are accustomed to seeing gay people growing up in teenagers, in adults, and so, having, even Washington, D.C., which is, I think, where this guy said he was from, I could have been wrong, but could be wrong on that, but, you're living in an area where it might be considered culturally okay for you to be gay. And that's great. I am so happy that you don't have those mass amounts of trauma that tells you that you might not be safe. But that's not the case for the rest of us. Okay? I grew up in Roseburg, Oregon. We didn't have a black person in our town. I knew one gay guy growing up. I was told throughout my growing up that it was not okay to be gay. When people suspected that I was gay, they had to ask probing questions to make sure that I was straight as an arrow, including my fucking teachers. So don't tell me that there shouldn't be gay wrestling clubs out there, because guess what? I want to wrestle, right? And no, I'm not having sex, but I want to be able to go to a club and feel safe in those environments, and I'm not fucking alone. And I mentioned this in the comments that my former roommate did wrestle. He was over in Idaho growing up, and guess what? He came out, and guess what? It was not okay for him. So, I know this goes against the messaging that I've kind of put out before, that, you should go out and you should do it. I do think that you need to go out and live your life. I'm not promising you that you're going to go into a space that's going to be safe. The guy that runs Origin BJJ over in Maine, Pete Roberts, when I went and I was trying out a class there, and after the class I told him that I was gay and that I was not sure whether or not, I asked him what would happen if there was an issue that came up with, people finding out that I was gay, and that they wanted to make an issue of it. And he said, well, first of all, are you going to give all my students AIDS? And that's not an okay thing to ask somebody like me. I don't have HIV, but even if I did, I'd probably be undetectable. It'd probably be very hard for me to spread HIV, and fuck you. Brian Johnson, who runs Northwest Jiu-Jitsu Academy here in Seattle, Washington, which is the school that I've been going to for like 6 to 8 years. I asked him, what would happen, because I knew somebody that was trans that was looking for a school. And I would say, what if this trans person came to your school and somebody had a problem with the trans person participating in BJJ? And he said that I would make sure that it was known that all are welcome. He would make a fucking scene of it in front of his entire school, making sure that people understood that transphobia and homophobia would not be welcomed in his school. Those are completely different scenarios. And so understand that some coaches will make it their mission to make sure that their space is safe for everybody that participates. And some coaches are ignorant assholes that allow sexual assault to happen for 30 fucking years. We know about the Ohio case. I've commented about it here on this channel. And in that case, sexual assault was okay. So don't assume that because you had an okay experience, that's going to be true for everybody. And don't assume that because that you had a good experience, that there does not need to be safe spaces for other people, because some people do not have access to a safe place to participate in the sports that they want to participate in. And I am sorry that I am shouting. I am sorry that I am riled up and super pissed off by these types of comments, but we need to be empathetic towards other people in our community. We need to understand that your experience is not going to be the same as somebody else's. We need to understand that safe spaces exist for the benefits of those who do have learned experience being in environments where it was not okay to be gay, where it was not okay to be trans, where it was not okay to accidentally pop a boner, which is something that you have no control over. So, why does this channel exist? Because I want to promote a non-toxic masculinity in wrestling. I want to make sure that anybody LGBTQ feels welcome and safe wrestling. And, part of me, way back when, I had somebody on this channel that had asked me, you know, is this channel just for gay men or are trans people welcome? And what I said to those people was that trans people are absolutely welcome, and I have totally let the trans community down by the content that I have put on this channel. Absolutely, 100%. I have not directly addressed the issue of trans people in competition in sports, and that is my own personal failure, and I completely apologize for that. I take full responsibility for that. But, you know, where I am right now in my current headspace is I am just utterly pissed off that anybody would make the comment that what we are doing here is not relevant and that it is not important. It absolutely is, because not everybody has access to this sport that wants to get into it, and that is why we exist. That is why I think that we need to have more gay clubs within the US, because I want to make sure that everyone feels welcome, everyone feels safe, and everybody can live the life that they can that they choose to live, without judgment, without persecution. And so, please, don't ever leave a comment like that on my fucking channel ever again, because frankly, it's not welcome. What is welcome here is a full acceptance of our community, and I know that this was coming from a gay person. You're an ignorant fuck. Don't follow me anymore, because I don't want you. Okay, the people that I want here are the ones that want to support the community regardless of where you are growing up, and can empathize with those who are not as fortunate as you are. So, I might regret some of the things that I've said in this video, but I stand behind most of it, so I'm going to post it anyways. Thank you guys for watching. Be supportive of one another. I love you, and we'll get back to it in a much more calm manner here in just a moment. Thank you.